So often in my designs, I always want everything even. Like it has to be 3, it has to be 3. But sometimes breaking up the pattern just kind of makes it feel more organic, right? So if I do, let's see, perimeter info right here, it dropped down over 100 spawnable spots. So it turns out there's some sort of slime chunk in our spawn region. So maybe we can also make this a slime farm as well. Start one in the middle. Oh, let's get out of here. All right. Hello, welcome to another episode of our Let's Play series. My name is Silver, but you can call me Spencer. We're friends. So now that we're released from our cage here, we can continue working on our little island here. So today I want to keep working on our terraforming. We're going to do a path up here and do some lanterns, and then I want to start working on our mob spawner project. I've had a couple ideas with that. We're just going to start the basics of it. I still have to kind of design the farm and really see if my idea is going to work, but we can definitely head over to the spawn island there and at least start prepping for it. And then the final thing I want to do today is, after we finish terraforming this area, I want to start working on a little project back there, as well as start the project over on this side of the island. So today's probably going to be a pretty heavy terraforming episode, but that's what I enjoy doing, which unfortunately it's kind of a slow process. So I think there's probably going to be a couple time lapses in this episode. Normally I do the time lapses to music, but maybe I'll do a couple that I narrate just to kind of switch things up. But without further ado, let me grab my materials and tools here and we will get started. Alright, first things first, I want to start working on the area here. So I was envisioning this area just having a little hangover. So I'm probably going to change most of this to stone, as well as probably most of this here. We can probably mix in a bit of gravel there. We'll mix in probably stairs and slabs like we normally would. Then we can have the shape quite organic rather than very boxy like it normally would. And we'll use a mixture probably of stairs and slabs so we don't have to jump up here. It just would be nice and smooth. That probably need to be stair there. We just want to kind of mix it in as best as possible. We'll kind of want to feather it out near the edges, so we'll just maybe a stone there. How's that look? Maybe we need one. Maybe let's do a slab there maybe? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's working for me. And then we'll probably have a lot of this area down here. Oh, I fall in hole. Let me get back out. Forgot there's a lot of caves down there now. Okay, just be careful. I'm thinking I'll probably put kind of a crack in the ground here if possible. We can use slabs and stairs to, if we do something like that. So that way it kind of looks like a crack or some kind of crevice in the ground here. Add some nice detail. So that kind of works. There's a little overhang that you could go in if you so desire. Maybe we could have a secret entrance or something in there, because it is hollow underneath there as I've fallen down twice. So we could maybe have a piston that opens up an entrance. So next we want to, I think, expand probably the stone up into the wall here. And we can mix in some more stairs once again to add a little detail. And for the path, I'm thinking we'll probably use, gravel, bit of cobblestone, just regular stone, and I got some jungle planks. Maybe we'll mix that in very sparingly. I think jungle planks will break it up quite nicely. This hill, I was actually thinking of making kind of a stone structure, more like a natural looking stone structure, but one that would look fairly cool. Kind of like a natural wall or something. So let's just build this up a little. So let's see, we'll probably do something like... So it kind of has a semicircle shape. And then base will have to be a little thicker than what it is now. If I can get up there, it can get up the side. Here we go. So something like, yeah, that'll be a good base. And then we'll just kind of raise it up a little bit. If you put a stair sideways, it actually creates a little hole you can see right through, and that'll create some nice depth. So when designing something organic like this stone structure, you don't want it to be over detailed, but you also don't want it to be too flat. And so that's why the stairs are really nice and the slabs. You can add these little lines like this one, for example, here. It creates depth there, and like where else? And then, for example, this sideways stairs where you can actually see through. You want to create depth, but you also got to think that this has been something that's been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands. So there's going to be wear and tear on it. So there's going to be those holes. There's going to be those cracks and stuff. There's going to be parts that have crumbled away. So maybe we got some stones down here and we can use maybe a slab. So maybe the top of this part broke off and it's now down here. Buttons are super useful, so you can put them in spots where you have those cracks so they look like the little debris that came off. And maybe we'll mix some andesite in with that part there. Andesite's nice because it matches stone so well, but also just changes the texture a little bit. Do I have any andesite stairs on me? I don't. So even changing those 2 blocks there, well, you wouldn't directly notice it just walking by. It does just break it up a little bit, and that definitely helps with the design. So I guess to summarize, you want to add depth and break up the texture without making it too noticeable. So that's pretty good for just a little basic path. Nothing too complex, just your run-of-the-mill, worn down cobble path. And we added a little rock feature here. I suppose it'd be kind of a hill or a boulder. Maybe this part was mined out to make way for the path, so that's why it's all crumbled up. But I think this is pretty good for the path. The only thing I want to add is a wall or so that will go about here. I'm thinking we'll probably have one of the lanterns be around here, and it'll kind of hang over the path. And we'll probably end up having maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, we'll have probably one here, and then I kind of saved a spot for one here. I think that should be good. Now, I was kind of envisioning this hanging off the edge here. So maybe it comes up like this, and then we're just gonna mix spruce fence gates and the walls again, just to match our bridge over there. So we'll keep on that same theme. Now, if it overhangs like that, we'll probably want it to come back like so. And I was thinking maybe have 2 walls and then the fence gates. How does that look? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Well, maybe let's leave it for now. And maybe let's have it come up again once forward. Yeah, we don't want it in a complete straight line. We want to add some depth to it by bringing it back and forward a little bit. So maybe we'll just cut it off there. It goes right into the block here. We could maybe have it go up. Let's see, how would we transition that? No, that doesn't connect, so that doesn't really work. We would have to use probably stone bricks. So what if we have it go like that? I don't really like that. Don't like that at all. This part's okay, but I'm not sure how I feel about the 2 wide parts there. It's good where there's depth, but because they're so flat, I guess I could use the, debug stick to, let's see, I can do the up. I could add those in, but I think just being too wide is still looking weird for me. So I'm gonna have to bring these guys in like that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I kind of broke it up so there's even gaps here. You can't quite walk through there. But I think breaking it up so it's not connected like this actually looks pretty good. Now I'm thinking probably the streetlight's gonna go here. So this fence gate is probably gonna get removed. Kind of what I planned out. But for now, I'll just leave it like that till we build that. We could maybe even, how would bringing this one forward even look? I wouldn't want this connected if anything, so this would have to come over one. What about just like a 2 wide one, actually? That looks pretty good. So often in my designs, I always want everything even. Like it has to be 3, it has to be 3. But sometimes breaking up the pattern and having 2 here having, what would this, 6 be? Yeah, having 6 here, breaking up the pattern just kind of makes it feel more organic, right? Because you don't really notice that there's, you know, more or less, it's just a fence there, so we could even make this a pathway for something. I'm thinking about adding a little house here right at the end of the dock. So maybe up here we could have a entrance to maybe a second floor of it or something. So that way we could get down to the dock easy from here, even though we can just, you know, obviously do that. But just thinking about the world building, if there's a house out here, the people inside would want probably access up to there without having to go all the way around the dock and then all the way up here. So it'd just be a shortcut for them. So that might be a good idea for something to add. That way we can utilize back here too. I might add just a little bit of greenery or something. Use some bone meal to get some ferns and tall grass. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. So streetlights has been always something I've struggled with building. Anytime I try to design some, I don't really like the outcome. So this design I actually saw on Pinterest. Now, unfortunately, I tried looking for the picture again to credit the creator, but I don't know if I didn't save it or it was deleted. I looked about for 15 minutes to try to find the picture, but I just couldn't. So if you know who created this, please do link it in the comments down below so I can put it in the description. But yeah, this is a really cool design. I like how it overhangs onto the path. Now, I don't have any sea lanterns at the moment, so I just put glowstone as a temporary block. But eventually I'm going to replace that with sea lanterns and that'll be the final design. Now, I think in the original design they had, well, I have gray concrete. I don't remember what they had, but I've substituted that. But pretty much other than that, the design is pretty much identical to how it was originally created. So yeah, I like how this pathway turned out. So other than if we add the house there, and then I got a couple things I want to add on this side of the dock right about here. But other than those two things, this side of the island I think is pretty much complete. I can't really think much else of what we could add over here. So really, I think it's kind of done. Other than just maybe foliage, some bushes and stuff, but really I think it's done. So let's head over to our spawn island here because I'm almost out of rockets and I don't really have a source of gunpowder at the moment, so we're gonna start prepping the area over here. So originally I was thinking I was just gonna build the mob spawn in the sky because I really didn't care how it looked, but after a little bit of thought, I think I am gonna put it underground. Obviously, putting it underground is going to help us with our rates, just how the mob spawning works, but also it'll be out of view then, so it'll be a little nicer to look at. I probably will build some kind of structure here to house all of our chests and everything. Not only are we going to farm hostile mobs like skeleton zombies, etc., we are going to probably make a passive mob farm as well, just so we can get a source of leather mostly, as well as the other drop. Now, I've actually never done a passive mob farm, but it shouldn't be too difficult. I'll definitely have to figure it out though. But I kind of have a design in mind, but I'm going to have to do some testing on creative just to make sure it actually works before I implement it here. Now the design is gonna make it so we can hopefully use our looting sword. Okay, I don't actually have looting on this, so I didn't realize how unenchanted our sword was. We're definitely gonna have to upgrade that. You know what, I haven't actually looked lately and see what our enchants are. Yeah, there's a couple, like we're still missing unbreaking. So we're gonna have to deal with those pretty soon here. But the design for the mob grinder here, hopefully we can have it so they will all come up into a spot where we can just attack them. So we'll be able to get the looting effect as well, which would be nice. But for the prep of the area, we're gonna have to light all the caves and we're gonna have to probably dig a huge spot underground just so we can fit the farm in. I don't know how much room at the moment, but we'll probably start digging down to, I don't know if we'll go all the way to bedrock. It'll definitely help with the rates if we go down as far as possible, but I don't really have an idea of how much room we'll need for the farm at the moment. So I'm not going to really worry about digging too much right now. All I'm going to worry about is lighting up caves. I have the carpet mod on this world, so if I do, I think it's /perimeter info. Yeah, if I do this, it will actually tell us how many spawnable spots are in the spawning radius. So there's actually just over 3,000 spawning spots, which would probably be mostly in cave, probably some on that island, and I have my render distance down quite low because all this water actually lags quite a bit. That's the one downside of being on an island. But other than that, that island might be in spawn distance, so we might have to light that up as well. It'd be good to just light up all the islands anyways. There's actually over 3,000 spots we have to light up. Then the potential in liquid will be actually all the drowns that are able to spawn underwater here. And what is this? 1,000,000? Yeah, 1,248,000 spots. So that's probably not going to get lit up. We should still get pretty good rates without lighting that up. Maybe I can slowly start lighting up the area with sea pickles, but I'm not too worried about lighting it all up. And then for the passive mob farm, obviously these turtles will have to go and I'll have to clear out all this sand. Yeah, that kind of gives us a rough idea of how much we have to light up. Also with the mini HUD mod, which is how you see the coordinates up here, if we actually jump into the configuration of this, we can go into shapes and we can actually add a shape. And if we turn it on, you can see we get this blue sphere around. Maybe let's change the color just so it's a little more visible. Can't color pick. We actually have to add a, oh, we can make it black. That works. Oh, that's actually, that hurts my eyes. Okay, we'll leave it blue. This actually indicates the spawning radius. So anything inside this circle or this sphere is where mobs can spawn wherever we created it. So if we're going to have our AFK spot, maybe let's say here, what we can do, we can jump in here and set it to our exact position. So we know if we're standing here, anything within this sphere is spawnable. So we're going to have to light up anything in there. Obviously the surface, there's be nothing except for that island there, but down into the caves is where we're concerned. Oh, this does have, you can set a margin. So I usually set a margin of maybe 15 or 20, and that just increases how far out the sphere goes, just because you're not always guaranteed to be standing right in this spot. You might wander out on this side. So you're going to want a little bit more of a margin on this side, or kind of everywhere, just in case you're not directly in the right spot. So if I do, let's see, perimeter info right here, you can see just a slight change in the coordinates here. It dropped down over 100 blocks or 100 spawnable spots. So yeah, this is probably a good spot. Then what we can do with a mixture of the spawning sphere, we can use our light level indicators. So let's just kind of dig down here. We'll probably just do a little staircase design for now. So anywhere, I'm gonna need some torches. Apparently I only have one, but once we get down to the cave, we can utilize this to start lighting up spots. Now let me pause here and get some torches. So when we find a cave, we can go ahead and first of all kill all the mobs inside of it. This zombie, there should be a skeleton I heard. Yeah, there he is. Get that guy. Oh, get knocked down. Okay, then we can use the light level indicator to know where we need to light up. And then if we're lighting up caves and we, oh, hello, please die. Why can't I hit you? Okay. Anyways, and then if we're lighting up and we so happen to run into that blue circle, we know, okay, this is the limit of how far we need to go out. We can just stop there. We might go a little bit out of the radius just in case to add to that, just to add to that margin a little bit more. But out of that blue sphere, we really don't need to go out at all. So yeah, this is going to be a project that will take a little bit to do, lighting up. And I'll definitely be using lots of torches. There are a lot of skeletons. So I hear lava, so we should probably run into lava pretty soon. Oh, I guess not. It must be just around us. This is pretty much bedrock level, just about. We'll run into it right away, I'm sure. There it is. So I guess it would be most efficient to put a mob grinder on this level. It's going to be a pain to dig out the area, but if we're going for efficiency, we might as well. But like I said, at this current time, I don't really know how much room we will need. So I'm going to dig out a little area, little room here, and maybe go up a couple layers and dig it down. But really, we could build this mob grinder as tall as we want. If we're at y equals 5, we could honestly build it up to sea level, which is 62. We could have a 55 block tall mob grinder, which, how many layers would that be? I can't do the math quickly in my head, but we'd have quite a few layers. So that is an option we could do. That would be really efficient. Or we could just start with a couple layers right now, and we can always expand it in the future, right? But yeah, so I grabbed a stack of coal blocks, a stack of spruce logs, so we can make sticks and more torches. when we run out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just continue lighting up caves when I run into them, and we'll see how many spawnable spots there are once we are done. So it turns out there's some sort of slime chunk in our spawn region. So maybe we can also make this a slime farm as well. That'd be super handy, just have kind of everything here. Now, so let's do perimeter info again, see what we'll get. So apparently it went up. Potential on ground. Wasn't it like 3,306 or something? Okay, so that must mean something else because lit quite a bit. So I'm not too sure, but I realized, well, lighting up the caves, choosing to do it on a island is definitely a really good idea. Or not even necessarily on an island. You could just go where the ocean is quite deep and the seabed is at a really low Y value, because not only are most of the caves I ran into water caves, like they're completely flooded, so nothing but drowns would be able to spawn there, but there was very few caves that I actually found. I feel like I got quite a bit of it. I mean, I'm sure I'll have to do some more lighting, which I'll do between episodes and whenever I have some spare time, but feel like I got some good headway, and I'm not sure there'll be many more because what even level is this? If I swim way down here, not that we can really see. Yeah, this goes down to 37, 36. So really you only got about 30, 31 blocks there that caves can even spawn. So if you're building a mob grinder, definitely consider doing it above a deep ocean, or if you want it actually in ground, find a island that the water around it goes quite deep like this one, and you should actually get pretty good rates without even lighting any caves up originally. But we won't know our rates till we actually build it. But with that, let's disable this shape here because we don't want to be staring at that, and let's fly back to our main island here. So for our terraforming next, I thought I was gonna have to dig it by hand, but I actually found some gunpowder in our shulker box, in our mob drop shulker box. We had some, which means, as you guess, TNT. Yes, I think I'm addicted after using it last time, because I definitely want to use it again if we can. Now, I don't want to use all of our gunpowder because I'm going to need some for rockets. 15 TNT. Let's make 23. Then we got 42. Yeah, that's probably enough. So I was looking at the silhouette of our island, like the shape of it, and it's kind of like a crescent, right? It kind of straightens out here, but it's sort of like a crescent. However, it's kind of hard to show off while flying because you fall so fast. This back area, I wasn't crazy about how it kind of sticks out weirdly. So what I was planning, maybe I can land on top of here. We can get a good view. Yeah, this is a decent view. Okay, so what I was thinking, I was going to remove pretty much all of the terrain there. Pretty much what you see there. Leave a small island kind of where this hill is. Leave an island there. And then I was going to remove some terrain back behind it. About here. Remove all of this kind of sandy area. But leave this little point at the end here and make a little hill. So if we fly up in the sky so we can get an aerial view, I have to show you really quickly. But so we'll have a main island and then we'll have a second island kind of behind it as well as a third one. So it's a little more broken up, which I think will look a lot better. And then our river or a little stream kind of through it will have an opening to go right here as well as this opening to go left. So we're going to be removing quite a few blocks, like pretty much this whole area. So we're going to utilize TNT once again as I fly right into a block. So probably we'll start it kind of here. And again, we'll want to see if we can chain react them. We might actually have to make more TNT, I'm thinking. I'm not sure this will be enough. But most of it's grass and sand, so it mines quick enough. It's when we get to the stone, more or less, is the slow part. I probably want to get a beacon pretty soon. I haven't explored the nether really at all except for our first episode. I don't think I've really been there other than I've made some nether tunnels to different biomes like ice spike biomes and mesa just in case we need to gather resources, but I'm kind of holding off exploring the nether and really building in there too much for 1.6, right? Because it's going to be the nether update, so probably when that comes out I'm just going to delete our nether altogether just so it regenerates completely. That's why I'm hesitant to go in there, but obviously we can go in there and go to the nether fortress and kill some withers, see if we can get, or some wither skeletons, see if we can get some wither skulls, because a haste beacon would be really nice, especially if we're going to be doing so much digging on our spawn island over there. And then also we'll want like speed and everything because it's just really nice to have, especially if we're on this island, because the beacon should cover the vast majority of it, I would think. But anyways, enough talk about that. Let me put down this last one. Probably, I don't know, let's go over here. Probably fine. Then let me get a camera account on here so we can actually see this from a good angle. All right, so let's kind of start one in the middle. Hopefully these all chain react together, but let's get out of here. All right. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. We missed a couple here. We got that one and that one. Okay, run. And all right, look at that. I think that's all of the TNT that went off. And let's gather all these blocks. This item magnet definitely helps a lot to gather all the blocks after you use TNT. You just gotta walk in the general area and they all go right to you. Now my inventory's full. Okay. But yeah, I think I went a little too far on this side looking at it. I think I probably want it to come out a bit more. But this side looks pretty good. We got a nice overhang here now you can go under. But I'm going to be smoothing out this terrain and customizing it a lot. But as for getting the area clear, definitely a really good job. I actually probably will make some more TNT just to go deeper on this stone part here, because we're going to want that to go down. That's really the only area I'm worried about. So we might blow that up, but the grass and everything we can do by hand. All right, so let's go ahead and light these guys and see what happens. Okay, run. Well, that was very anticlimactic. They definitely didn't chain together, so I don't think Maybe these guys will? They're kind of close. No, okay. I had them too far to chain together, but go ahead and just light them all here. Well, it's kind of still covered, but it kind of cleared some terrain. But I guess a lot of this will be doing by hand, it looks like. But yeah, no, actually, is that a cave there? Okay, it discovered a cave. Oh, and there's mobs down here. Oh, this is not good. Okay, ouch. Got a lot of arrows in me now, but I was wondering why that looked so deep. But yeah, there is a cave under there. Okay, so a lot of this it looks like we'll be doing by hand, just clearing out the stone, but more or less, it'd probably really go only about this deep. Well, yeah, so it looks like we'll be digging down maybe 2 or 3 layers at the most, which isn't too bad. Now, this water for the meantime, as I can't swim. For the meantime, I'm just gonna retain this water so it doesn't get everywhere. And then, like we did with the terraforming last episode, we'll just clean up the seabed for now, and then once we have it all how we like, that's where we'll go ahead and add the water back in. Alright, so we're pretty much done with our islands here. See, there's a stone block we need to change out there. But other than that, I think the shape is pretty good for these guys. Let's just fly up. I don't have many rockets left, but let's fly up and just have a quick peek. So you can kind of see how this is just kind of bracketing the main island there, and then this one's just a kind of smaller one. Now obviously I need to go in and change all this stone and dirt and everything to sand. I'll do that probably between episodes or something. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna fill kind of this pocket in a little bit, raise it up, because it's just a weirdly low spot, especially with how high this is here and then over there. So yeah, I'm gonna fill that in probably with sand and make it fairly level. It might go down a little bit, but definitely not that deep. But again, I'll probably do that between episodes because I think that's enough underwater terraforming for now. It's kind of a pain to do, especially when the water's all messed up and then you have to use a bucket to fix it up. I was having a really hard time getting this water all settled here, and finally got it. I saw over here we need to just fill up. When it's only one layer, it's really easy. Look, that was two buckets to do. But when it's 3-4 layers deep over here, you kind of have to fill up the bottommost layer first, but you can't really tell what spots you're missing, so you just kind of gotta guess. So there's probably more efficient ways to do that, but what can you do, I guess? It's done either way. Okay, so next, we don't have much time in this episode. I think we're actually probably out of time, but I do want to just kind of start a little project over here. Well, I say little project, but it's gonna be quite the project, I think. So what I'm thinking is probably from around here, I want to terraform in almost like an archway that'll reach up to there, and it'll be an arch that you can boat under, and I think it's gonna go probably out a little and then in, as well as raise up over there. So I think first, let's get the kind of general shape in. I'm not sure what the easiest way to do this will be. I guess just, oop, as I fall off, I guess kind of just pillar it like this, and then we'll kind of bulk it out. Don't want it too steep. So maybe go like 4 or 5 blocks and then go up. And this will probably end up actually going out like quite a bit farther. Kind of really like blend it into the terrain, make it a nice gradient. So something maybe like that. And this is probably a fairly good height. Maybe go up 1 more block here. Let's see, how's this looking? Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we can start, I think it'll connect kind of right beside the bridge there. So we're gonna slowly turn it this way. Now there's no really easy way to go down, so I think I'm just gonna slowly go this way, and then I'll just build it down from the bottom after. So let's see. Oh, I fall. So yeah, we'll make this come out a little bit. We'll use, I guess, stone right now. I should have actually grabbed some proper materials, but so we'll have it go up and again, we don't want it too steep. So maybe something like this. Let me grab some rockets and see how that looks. I mean, obviously it's going to be really thin. I'm not liking that shape too much. I think it needs to raise up a little bit more there. But I think the curvature there is good. It just needs to be smoothed out maybe. Maybe I need to flatten this out more and have the kind of high point over here, I'm thinking. So maybe these blocks need to go down. And then the other thing I was thinking is I should really just grab some more stone. Let me do that. So the other thing I was thinking is we'll have a pillar that goes up. Maybe, where are we about? Maybe about here. We'll have a pillar that goes up to support it, because obviously it'll need some kind of support or else it definitely crack under the weight of itself. But then we can widen this up, and this is fairly wide, so we maybe move this over slightly. But we'll widen this up. That way you can kind of have two streams around the pillar, and then you can go down the river. So we'll expand this up to about, oh, I guess not quite at it, but I mean, this pillar doesn't need to be straight up too. It can kind of bend over. Let's see, how's that look? I mean, it's definitely thin, but it kind of gets the right idea. Let's see, wanted to lower it there, and probably this needs to go down a bit too, just to gradually smooth it out. See how that looks. Yeah, it could go even a little bit more, I think. Be a little bit smoother. It's still quite flat up here, so I'm thinking we'll maybe even raise it up some more over here. Okay, final rocket. This is gonna be the one. I can feel it. And yeah, I mean, that's not, it's not much right now, but it's not so bad. But yeah, that kind of gets the right idea. So when we're standing on the bridge, we'll be able to still see under it. It'll give us a nice view. Obviously, we're out of time, so I don't have time to really flesh this out anymore. Maybe between episodes, I'll work on it a bit more just to kind of get a better shape down. And then we can really start working on detailing and everything either next episode or shortly here. But yeah, so that's it for this episode. If you did like it, do feel free to show your support by leaving a like on the video and subscribing if you haven't already. And leave me a comment. What do you guys think of the island so far? Alright, so we will see you next video. Ta-ta!